Tip number 2, get inspired, but do not copy. Get inspired, but do not copy. Okay, everybody out there has some type of creativity within them. You can get inspiration from the Tasha Reid show. You can get inspiration from a book. You can get inspiration from Syria's night at poetry. You can get inspiration from anywhere and everywhere. But the thing is, do not copy someone else's stuff. If someone else is doing it, don't do it. Find your own thing and do that, okay? What you think about that one, Syria?
Let me ask you something. Could somebody viably do the same thing but do it their way, do it better?
Yeah, they could, but do not copy.
Don't copy.
You can't just, it can't be a duplicate of what that person is doing. Someone can start a talk show out there, but it can't be the same exact thing that I'm doing. That's copying.
Yeah.
That's not creativity.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think it's lowly. It's copying is essentially cheating. So
Exactly.
yeah, right. So
And
when
you
you're in
cheat
school, yeah, and you cheat yourself by limiting your own imagination.
Exactly.
I agree.
Okay. Tip number 3. Failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. I like that. You know, I can't seem to find failure within anything I do. I always try to find something, a way to get around whatever I'm doing. Like, oh, I can do this better, or it's got to be a way. Or have you ever let failure get in your way?
You know what? More so fear of failure. And fear only exists. This was this guy named Nimon told me. Very successful fellow. He was getting drunk at the bar. No, he wasn't getting drunk.
I love
but we were having some
your
drinks.
bar stories.
Right, the bar stories. It's like a 7 years worth of bar stories. No, he told me, he said something really intelligent to me. He said, you know why fear exists? I said, why does fear exist? He said, the only reason why fear exists is for you to get over it. So if you had straight, I say in one of my poems, because I'm also an author, I got a book of poems, which is not here right now, I forgot. Look the beast of suffering square in the eye and watch that MFer pass you by. For by experience you are no longer clean and someone has lied, because baby, by your trials and tribulations you are purified. Know what really matters and make the BS obsolete. Never let a vision be something you can't see.
Whoa, you heard it here. I like that. Why don't see you on the mic more often at the poetry night?
Man, I've been doing the mic for a long time, and basically I just didn't write nothing new, so I was like, let me start a show. No, that's not the motivation for the show. But yeah, no, I spit. FYI, if you come to the show and you want to hear me do my poetry, then you got to come early.
Okay.
And see, that's what you don't know.
Yeah, okay.
And people who come early know that. They know that they can request pieces out of my book and do it early. But failure is certainly not an option. And failure, you should define failure before you start making that affirmation. I think each individual should define failure for themselves.
And it's funny you talk about that, because that's tip number 4. Tip number 4, enjoy failure. You got to enjoy, because you cannot succeed without failure. Think about it.
Yeah.
You're not going to always know how to do something. You're going to have to fail at it in order to learn, to get better and better and better.
Absolutely.
So you got to enjoy your failures. Like everything is not going to always go your way. Everything is not going to always be perfect. So enjoy the failures and get past them and try to find the solutions.
I completely agree. And I would go so far as to create an addendum for that. Look forward to failure. You're not going into it like I'm not going to be a success, but if you're going into it for the first time, you are certain that it's not going to be absolutely perfect. And so you're looking for ways to improve while you experience. And I think that goes right along with the fear of failure. People, they get nervous because they don't want to fail, but if you look forward to failure.
Look forward to failure. Hey, and I was like, failure is inevitable. So you got to take the good with the bad. Hey.
Agreed. You so smart, Tasha.
Whatever. Tip number 5 coming to you guys. The most important one, being an entrepreneur, don't give up. Don't give up.
Hallelujah.
You cannot give up. if you give up, you might as well stop living. I feel like
Stop living.
just take
Don't
it.
do
But no, you can't really give up. You really cannot give up on life because if you start giving up on things, it's one thing leads to another.
And now you're giving up on everything.
Yeah, and next thing you know, everything's gone around you, and you just gave up, and you might as well give up on life. But that's not the way to go.
Yep. I think that goes hand in hand with follow through, because a lot of people say, well, I never gave up, but they tried this, feared failure, tried that, feared failure, and just kept trying something new, and there was never any follow through to see it through to the end. The thing is, the end that you imagine can be a lot more grandiose. What God got in store for you can be a heck of a lot bigger than what you ever imagined. So if you don't follow through and see it through to the end, then you'll never know what your actual blessing could be and how you may have blessed others. Can't miss out on that. What's that tip again? Repeat it.
Don't give up.
Don't give up.
Because even with failure is like a detour in your map. I look like it. You know, it's like failure happens because you got off path. So in order for you to get back on path, you have to fail to get back to success.
And to learn too. I mean, you gotta have a learning curve. You know, you didn't get 2 + 2 right the first time because you had no idea. You know.
Yeah. Well, as you know, tips from Tasha once again, coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. I just enjoy this part of the show. I hope y'all got y'all pen and paper, and I hope that you took those notes, because you need to share that with your family, your friends, and everybody out there who's thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, or somebody out there who do not have a job, they need a job, they need to start their own business, create something. It's something great in each and every one of you. We're going to go to a break, and we'll be back very soon.
Then have no fear.